Hello and welcome back to Hof Bergmann. They are very loud. Maybe they're hungry. Do they need a bit of water? Not much. Oh well, we give them a bit. So it's the next in-game day now. Obviously without season, so a little bit's progressed, but not too much to be honest. There we go. So yeah, not too much has progressed. I have been doing a few little bits and bobs just off camera. One of them was to basically finish off the corn straw, so I've done that. So yeah, so I have done the corn straw, I've done all the corn as well, got that harvested off. So I think I'd just quickly sort out the animals, do a few animal jobs. I have loaded up the incubator as well with, just show you, another load in there, so it's definitely full now, so we've just got to wait a little bit. Nothing's actually happened yet properly with the animals. I haven't had any calves yet as well, so still playing the waiting game on that one. May as well take a box these into the shop, see if we can sell them. They should just automatically sell. There we go. Not too bad. I mean, money's gone down, so we probably need to sort something out soon. Get them in a bit of money. So we may as well sell these two. Don't need any more for the incubator anyway, so let's do it. And I'm thinking, obviously the aim of doing the chicks is because it'll be, yeah, more beneficial than just selling eggs straight away, so that's the aim. So yeah, these are the corn straw bales that I did in the last episode. So yeah, this is pretty much everything that was in the field. So what I'm going to quickly do now is we're going to go and store them up somewhere. I have finished off field 2 as well, so that's got all baled off. Field 1 and 3 I'm going to pick up as loose, probably in this episode, and then I'm going to store that away, just to show you where to store loose as well, if you wanted to do that. It is actually pretty cool to have the option to do both, to store straw bales and loose straw. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place in now, just about here, pretty much like a storage place for bales. Just like I've got here for the TMR and obviously several other different types of bale types around. But there is one somewhere for maize straw, as you can see. So what I was thinking is maybe it'd be a good idea to just, well, swing that around first, but just like throw it probably about there. It's not going to be in the way of the TMR bales, which is obviously important. And I think, yeah, it just sits well there. So we'll put that there. And that's pretty much all you get on the floor. These are the textures you get. So you can see that it's basically where some straw's been, some maize straw. But I think the grass shouldn't have too much of an impact, hopefully anyway. So if we just throw them in, there you go. So they'll nicely stack up now. I'm guessing as well that when it's full there will be some form of cover on. That's normally what happens. But I do think it's, yeah, just such a nice little feature to have them storage points. It really is. But there we go. That looks pretty sweet. So another thing I want to do is actually obviously store the corn off. We're not going to sell it yet. Pretty much going to store off most of the grain types we have until we want to make some money. But I just want to point out, I got a comment mentioning that obviously as I was struggling with the driving here and getting the right turning coming out, someone mentioned that you can actually hide this, and if you stand just about here on this one, in the F1 menu, what you'll see is show walls and hide walls, and I never knew that, so that's brilliant, and that's what obviously makes things a lot easier when you've got a bigger trailer. So thanks for that comment, you were absolutely spot on, and that does help out quite a bit. So if we now jump over to the whatever it is, there we go, to the obviously the 9 series to its far, we can store off this 12,000 litres of corn that we got from the field, and it should be a lot easier now. manoeuvring into the actual tip point for the silo. So that trigger's probably been staring me in the face, but I didn't even know about it. But now, like you can see, a lot easier. You can turn at any point like that, and I can now tip just there, which is great news. It really is. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go and fetch all the bales from the field, and I'm going to store them away now. I do want to pick up the square bales as well that I've been doing, and I'm going to find a place to store them, because there is several places on the farm to store them. But not just that, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the loose straw as well. So what I'll first do is park this up, because I do need this after for what I'm planning on doing. Well, I don't need it just yet. So if we just park this up here, by the time I do need this, it'll be in the right place for what I need. So there is a few things probably for the animals that I do need to do as well, but let's just have a quick look just so I don't miss anything. Straw and water for the goats. Probably need to just top up the water. The straw will be fine for another day. The feed's fine as well for them, and I'd say they're fine. They don't consume that much, so they should be fine for another day. Yeah, so same with the young bulls as well, they're fine. That does remind me, I wonder if the breeding bull has finished his activities. He probably has. Let's just have a quick check. Yes, he has. So what we'll do is we'll throw him back in again, keep him going, because he is going to make us obviously quite a bit of money. And then we probably need to find a way of storing it off, to be honest, and then containers in the fridge. And the more we obviously make, the more we're going to need to store off. So we'll need some more containers. But we can easily pick them up from the shop anyway, so that's not a big deal. There we go, so he'll be doing his business now. Keeping happy. And we should have 10 litres? No, 5 litres. So we've definitely got 5 anyway, so we probably need to get some of these actual containers so we can store it in there. So that'll be something that we definitely do at some point soon. Right, so let's jump back into the goat's fart. Probably do a little bit of mucking out just quickly, just because I know that this does need doing. I'm so happy that I increased the capacity on this to 2,500. I mean, it's not too much, not overkill, but it definitely just helped things out a little bit. I mean, because I've mucked this out now a few times and I'm still not full, so that is good news. There we go. Shut the door. Job's a good one. Probably should look at maybe mucking out the cows. Let's just have a quick look at what they're like. Yeah, they definitely need some kind of mucking out. I have got my wheelbarrow still. Probably more likely to get full with this wheelbarrow, because the cows seem to give off a lot more. And there's a big stretch of it. And eventually, as we grow with the cows, what I'll do is I'll actually get a proper... Oh, that stays on. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll actually get a proper bucket on my front loader and just scoop it up. Then it will be, yeah, simpler. But I think that should be fine. So now we can actually crack on with getting some straw. So I'll take the 9 series. And we're going to go and hook up to this bale collector for square bales. And we'll pick up the square bales first and then obviously store them away properly this time. Won't just stack them up near the trigger. I'll find somewhere to actually put them in, and then I'll have to probably manually do it, which might be a little bit difficult. There we go. So what I did in this field as well, I did do 8,000 litre bales. Just because my intention is to probably sell some bales soon. And if we do sell some, these will be the first ones that go. So I thought it'd make things, again, easier to just increase the capacity of them, so doing obviously less trips. Now, actually, as I'm recording this video right now, today was the day FS22 teaser trailer was released, and I have to say, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it definitely showed quite a lot of features that should be coming to the game. New crop types, grapes, some new equipment on that front as well. It's a New Holland, looks like a grape harvester, which is really unique, something I've never used before. Never used it in game. Never even seen one in game, so that is definitely something interesting. And a couple more crop types as well, like olives, and one more that I have actually forgotten the name. But yeah, I do think it's definitely looking interesting. But the one thing that stood out for me was, I'm sure I saw some mould on one of the corn cobs that the lady was holding. Or she would have been the daughter of the two antagonists in the actual cinematic trailer. Now, I thought they were implying from that clip that maybe not only do you have crop damage now, as in driving over a tractor kind of crop damage, but you now might actually have crop damage that's you know, uncontrollable, as in, well, it can be controlled obviously, but uncontrollable as in you're not going to be doing it forcefully yourself like you would if you'd run over your crop. And so yeah, that for me is interesting. I'm sure that's what it showed. Now, if we do have some kind of mold damage or crop damage in that sense, natural, you know, hence why I use pesticides and herbicides and stuff like that, I think it'll open up a different aspect to the way we're going to farm, which is pretty cool. It really is. So I am excited for that. If you do want to pre-order it, and you are planning on pre-ordering the FS22, either the digital or the physical copy, you can pre-order it from one of the links I have. Then by doing that, you will be supporting my channel, and obviously I'd highly appreciate that. So I will be putting them links in the description of this video. If you do want to go out and do that, like I said, I'll appreciate that massively, so thank you in advance if you do. Right, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to move this probably down here, because I'm sure I have some straw bale storage area up here, which I think if we just bring up the F1 menu, you'll see that it is square bale storage for straws, 113. And I am emptying this. It's probably the only place on the map that's empty, as well as this place as well. But this is for mini bales. These are mini straw bales, so they can go there. But yeah, let's go and get probably the smaller tractor, the Agro. I think it's the Deutsche Agro. It is somewhere. I think that's it. Yeah, Agrotron. And we can move out the straw blower so we can get past. And then I'm obviously going to need to get the rear weight on this in the front loader attachment, so I can actually take the bales off and stack them up the top. Right, so that's all set up. So now what I need to do is reverse this back. Now I think I need to unfold it again, and then obviously tell it that I want to unload. But the closer I can unload to the area around here where I'm obviously going to stack them from, the better. So what we need to do is level up, because last time I did have some issues with leveling up and then moving away from it. I think this should be fine. Fingers crossed anyway. There we go. That looks perfectly fine. So we'll just obviously let it fall back up. And even though that's massive, so it's probably going to fall over. I don't think the front loader is going to get that high. And it's still definitely doing the job. No, I think that is definitely a job for a telehandler. Well, let's just throw this here. See how many we can put in there. I mean, it is quite tall, but luckily this one, if I can get to that third one, which I think I might be able to, definitely on a slant. Whoa. That is tricky, but it seems like it's doable. I'll have to leave it like that. Now I did go with the bigger rear weight, just because obviously 3 bales on a tiny little Agrotron like this will make it quite difficult. Now I don't know if I have to place them there on the ground, but let's just try, and if not, we're going to have to get the telehandler for this, unfortunately, because it's definitely not going to go that far up. Right, so I'll get hooked up to the little creamer, and then we can do this properly. Right, so welcome back. So I've been using the bigger creamer. And it doesn't actually go up that far at all, really, so it struggles to put the bales up there. Just about get it up there, but I decided it was just a little bit too tricky. And for what I want to do next as well, it's definitely probably worth getting something else. So what I've decided to do is sell the smaller creamer, which I wasn't using as much. That cost 25,000, so that's how much we got. And then with the money that I've got, I've now leased out this class Scorpion telehandler with a bucket and obviously a bale grab. Now obviously these will go back. Don't ask me why I got a JCB bale grab. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So these will go back after. It's just going to be for this episode what we do, and then we're probably going to need some form of telehandler going forward. So that's going to be the first thing we try and get some money to invest in. So before I actually go and sort out the bales, I just want to show you something that I was sent by Thomas Matthews that I have to say is really impressive and pretty neat. And that is an AutoDrive that he set up on this map, completely, fully organised, and I have to say I am completely impressed with this. So you have to give Thomas Matthews definitely some credit for this. And also he's kindly given me permission to share it in my Discord, so if anyone wants it, you can jump into my Discord and it will be in there. So yeah, definitely full credits to Thomas Matthews for this. And it's all been organised into groups as well, so you got your animals, so all the areas for the animals are all set up. Bull yard again set up. All the dealerships, as you can see, even with the times, which is brilliant. The farm areas, all the fields, every single one of the fields, even the forestry areas, even the houses that you delivered to are all set up. Parking areas, so he's got these parking areas here, you can see, parking all on the main yard, 4 of them, and then he's also got equipment garage, which I'm guessing is just there. And then the productions, so different things around the map that you obviously do. So the dairy house, loads of different things. I am absolutely taken back by this. This is brilliant. Really saved me a hell of a lot of time, and I definitely appreciate what he's done. So what I'll quickly do, because obviously it's all set up around pretty much everywhere, and it looks, if you look at the actual cornering, it's all set up so you can run on the road dual, so you don't have to worry about meeting anyone. There is some doubles, like you can see there. He's cleverly picked up there that it can go 2-way. open the pigs feeding area, which I will just quickly have a little look round. So he's obviously doing a loop, but I will show you just around. I'll just quickly drive around the yard so you can actually see the setups in place. But if you do want AutoDrive on this map, and yeah, I can definitely recommend this one because he's pretty much done everything with all the triggers. Got reverse points into the silos, one for corn, one for grass, all set up. Equipment garage there, big bag. That word, I mean, you can probably pronounce that better than me, but I know that is where I store the hay, so, or the straw, sorry, loose straw, and then obviously, yeah, different things around. Yeah, so everything is set up, absolutely everything. You got the slurry pit as well, and you can see just there, if there wasn't the tree, slurry pit's all set up there. So yeah, as you can see, it's obviously been done with a lot of effort. All the triggers, it's got the cow straw trigger, so you can obviously send it to put straw. And we should have another bunker around here as well. There's another bunker, which I will use hopefully at some point, but this bunker looks like it's set up as well, or it drives through this bunker anyway, so you can obviously set a tip point somewhere in there if you wanted to. And then again, different areas here. You could set TMR up there if you wanted to, TMR mixing. As far as I can tell, this is set up perfectly for me. I don't need to modify absolutely anything, but if you want to add things in, well, you've pretty much got most of the stuff anyway already on it, but if you do want to add stuff in, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. But for me, this is definitely anything you'd need on this map, and I do like the fact that it's got these parking points. I think that's really good. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So it will be in my Discord, so as soon as this video comes out, it will be in my Discord. Go in there, find Thomas Matthews, give him a big thank you, big thumbs up if you do find it helpful as well, because this did not come from me, this come from Thomas, and obviously really thankful and appreciate the fact that he's willing to share it as well. So definitely go check it out if you want an AutoDrive. So let's crack on with this then. Obviously we're going to pick up the bales now and actually be able to put them away, which is the main aim. So there is a lot of storage points on this map. There's obviously some hay bale storage up there, straw up here, there's some straw storage, obviously you've got the actual storage areas that you can obviously just place into that we've maxed out that are on the ground, then once you buy. But there is these ones as well that we need to start utilising, I think. I haven't got a rear weight on this, so this might be difficult if we try and do more than maybe 2 bales, but at the end of the day, we're going to do it because we need to. There we go. So these are the ones that obviously I tipped up. I did try to pick up 3, but they are 8,000 litre bales, so these fell off. But as you can see, they're going in now, no problem at all. We can actually reach where we're trying to get to. So I am going to attempt to pick up 3 8,000 litre bales. This might be ridiculous, but you never know. That looks like it's about to tip, but at least the telehandler is performing alright so far. And there we go. Look how easy that is now with a proper telehandler. Don't get me wrong, them Kramers are pretty nifty, especially around a farm like this size. Probably more traditional to the area as well, but you have to say that right now we could. You have to say that right now we are definitely in need for something like this. And I do like these class telehandlers, and I haven't really used them that much, so I think it's something that I'm going to try and do a little bit more. So I think we should aim to try and purchase one of these second-hand, which I think are around maybe 50,000, so it's definitely achievable. it's not actually taking too long to do this now that I can actually pick up 3. I do like this JCB fork as well. It seems pretty solid. And it is just the right size as well to hold 3 bales, which I think is the maximum you'd want to pick up. You don't want to be picking up any more than that, really. I mean, you can do, don't get me wrong, you could probably get the Merlot. I think you can actually attach a rear weight to that. There's also a mod that can attach rear weights to the back of telehandlers. I did use it before, but I also find that by using it, it does make the back end sink a bit. But I'll tell you what we'll do, for the fun of it, because I just said, oh, you don't want to pick up more than 3. I'm going to try and pick up 4. Let's see what happens if we try and pick up 4. First things first, we definitely want to try and pick that lower bale up from the top of it. Maybe a little bit more, just so we can try and catch that top bale from falling. Alright, well it is picking them up, and this class has definitely got some weight on the back to handle this without tipping up. But we definitely need to be a bit careful taking this corner. Ooh. Let's straighten up, and then we should be fine then. There we go, job done. So that's all the bales that we've obviously picked up, these 8,000 litre bales. We've got 16 in there. I think that's plenty. So we go up to this, turn that, that'll go away. The ladder will still stay there, but obviously that's because you can manually put it wherever you want. So I think that's job done for that. We've put them bales away. So I think the next thing to do is we're going to park this over by the bagging machine, because that is going to be our next job after we pick up the loose straw. I will just leave this over here because we will need the bucket. So what I'll do is I'll just park this away, get it set up for the next job. I'll go pick up the pickup wagon from the store that's still there, and then we'll start picking up some loose straw. Alright, so here we go. This is going to be hopefully an easy job with the size of this thing. This is pretty big. So we need to just fly through, and I think if we just try and pick up a field's worth this time, just get this done, I think that'll be fine. I mean, this is quite a big field. There is a lot of swaths on this field, so we'll see how we get. I do want, like I said, I do want to try and do some big bags of lime. So I think it does make sense to, within reason. There's a few bales as well that are still left in the field, but I will get them up and put them out again into storage. But this shouldn't take too long. I mean, like I said, this holds quite a lot. And yeah, it's a good option sometimes to pick it up as loose and then store it. Now that you've got obviously the capabilities to do it on a map like this, and also by doing that, you can just put a trailer underneath when you need it to go and put it to your animals or whatever else if you're going to sell it. It's always an option to do it like this. I don't think there's actually any detrimental effect by selling it loose against bale, but I would have to check that and confirm. But I'd be surprised if you did take a negative hit by not baling it off. I believe it's just so much for 1,000 litres basically. So I mean, loading wagons are really helpful. They really are. I should use them more often, but I do tend to stick to baling or picking up for a pit maybe from a forage harvester. I think that's the only time I pick up loose in a swath. I mean, it's not like they don't exist as well. I see a lot of these around where I am. A lot of farmers have these, and the Pottinger ones as well. I've seen a few quite local to me. So they obviously pick up their grass swaths, maybe put it into the bunker that way. Don't get much straw around where I am. I think they struggle to grow crops in general. It's just a lot of grass. Now I did also just realise, a bit late like, but I did realise that this actual pickup it's actually a unique mod, because it comes with an additive that you can use and buy, which is why it says 0% empty on one of the bars just above the straw. You can buy that and actually increase the yield, so I might just do that just to see how much it does improve. But what we want to do right now is pretty much just back this up first before we go ahead and do that. And then we need to go and obviously turn it on before we tip. So let's just quickly do that. Bring up the F1 menu. So we want to turn the engine on. And we want to turn on the straw blower. And that's pretty much... I think we press unloading. Start unloading. I'm sure it is. And then what we want to do is obviously tip it, and then as you can see, it even has an animation of it being drawn in, which is pretty good. It really is. So I'm hoping it takes all this, or else we are just piling up right now. Luckily it isn't getting any bigger and it's still coming out, so I mean, you wouldn't want to put your foot in there, would you? Nope. Let's just have a quick look at seeing how much we are. Oh, we're empty. Nope, I'm in the wrong vehicle. Let's just have a quick look, see how much it's dropping. So it is actually quite slow. You can see that it's not, it's not taking it that quick. So it would actually be quite a long job. Take a while, because as you can see, I'm at 70%. I mean, if I drop it, you can see that it at least takes the amount that's there. It is picking up, but obviously it does take a while, which is probably more realistic. At the end of the day, it can only suck up so much. And if we just try and sweep round to the other side, we can have a look at the amount that's in there, which I think is really good. Anything like that, little display like that, I do think is useful. And if you do want to collect this, what you have to do is obviously go around to this side. That's interesting. But anyway, yeah, you come around to this side, and then obviously this is where you pick it up from. Now we must have told it, I think that's what I did, I may have told it to blow some straw out, I guess, which is interesting. Maybe unload here. I think that's the problem. I told it to unload, and obviously that's what it's done there, so we can clean that up. That's not an issue. That really isn't an issue. In fact, let's get the telehandler right now and give that a clean, because it just makes sense, or else it's going to be quite annoying. Probably should move them bales as well, because with it, that being full, there's nothing stopping us from actually doing that. Now obviously, as you can see, all you have to do is put a bucket or a trailer underneath it and it will automatically do it, so you don't have to tell it to unload like I did, but you can do if you just want it on the ground for some reason. But what we can do now, we can just add to the pile. There we go. So I'll just park this up out the way, because we will be using it, like I said, and I am going to be doing some mowing at some point, definitely, because it just looks so much better when you get rid of some of this shrubbery. It kind of looks overgrown. I've been saying that a while, but it's just getting round to it. There's so many other things to do. Well, we're getting close. We're at 35,000, and I know it wasn't too much more than that, so as you can see, it's just under 3,000 left now. Right, so as you can see then, it completely took it all up. So what we should probably do, with it having the 41,000, we don't need it on. We can turn the blower off, and we can turn the engine off. And then obviously, as you keep coming back, you can do this. Now this is the exact same for the Hay one. It's just over here. Now I do like this. This is obviously something new. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously you've got the exact same here. And then you've got turn the engine on. as it comes out. Now you can actually bring out the pipe, and then what you'll notice is it then comes from here. If we close the pipe off, you can see it's obviously folded in, and also you can see that it's in German, but you can switch to English. Some absolutely brilliant details on this map every time. I mean, I've seen that before, but it still amazes me, the amount of detail into that. Right, so I think what I'll do, I mean, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I am going to spawn this in, and the main reason is because I want to show you the additive. I would like to obviously go and pick it up normally. What we're going to do is obviously put it into the map. Now I need to remember where it actually is. So there's a barrel of grease there. So I must have a mod, which it says the Crossetto. I can actually use a barrel of grease. And that is interesting. Should probably get some of them egg crates as well at some point. So this is what I'm after. I'm after this silage additives. You can obviously get it in a barrel. 2 barrels with a pallet. It seems like it's the best, and you can even get an IBC, so there is quite a few options. But what I'll do is I'll just buy a 200 litre drum, which you can see, and then hopefully but there you go. So it's now refilled, 30 litres of additive. Kind of knocked the drum over nearly. That's how much it's used. Where should we put this? Let's just keep it in here for safekeeping. There we go. So it's used, that's the drum. It's used 30 litres of additive, silage additive. And then now what should happen is when we go and pick up the straw, well, we should get an increased yield. That's what it's advertised as on the mod. So let's test it out and find out if that's the case. So what I'll do is I'll now put this on a bit of a time lapse. I'll go and pick up a load of straw, another load, and then I'll probably cut back in when I'm just about to deliver it off to the straw blower. Right, so let's turn this back on, get it going, and then we'll obviously start tipping. And there we go. So that should now, well, it was. Maybe we've, there we go. It decided to work. There you go. It's going through now. Right, so as you noticed as well, it was using some of the silage additives, so we've gone down to 60%. Which is pretty cool. So what I want to just quickly mention is if you do want to use this mod, I will try and find it and put a link in the description. I'll be honest, I can't remember where I got it from, but it shouldn't be too hard to find, so I will find it and put a link in the description. Now this is where I think the silage additive goes, hence why we put it here, and it works. So it is on this side, left hand side, if you're standing looking at the front of it, the connection point on the left hand side of it. Now I also want to mention about the actual silage additive. I know, you know, it's not realistic using it for straw, but it is a real thing. Now, if you watch Tom Pemberton's YouTube channel, you will see at times in his series he has used it, but with the forage harvester that comes onto his farm. So obviously the contractor that comes on when he's done his windrowing, and obviously the forage harvester is going to pick up them rows, and then obviously the cart with the trailers for the pit. So the actual silage additive, you have seen in his videos that he uses it, so it is a real thing. Obviously it's just used for pretty much bunker silage and I'm guessing what it does, it's an additive that actually improves the quality of the grass silage after it's fermented in the pit, so after it's been there. So it's not, in fact, it'll improve yield, it does improve the actual quality of the grass silage itself. So by adding an additive to the grass as it's being picked up through the forage harvester and then chopped and then put into the trailers, that's the way it's doing it. Now obviously you can't do that in Farming Simulator, there is no quality. So let's just quickly park this up in here. I think that'll do. So we just need to make sure we turn off the straw blower. Like I said, I will pick up the straw. I'll do it probably in between episodes. But I think that'll do. We've got 83,000 in there. That's a lot. We're definitely going to have a lot of straw to pick up. And we should probably think about selling this at some point, to be honest. Right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to pick up some lime. I'm definitely going to go down to the lime pit, fill up this trailer, pretty much max it out. We're going to do some big bags, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to fill up this silo here with lime, and then we'll have some properly storage off, but we'll also have a few big bags. I might do 4 or 5 big bags, probably 4 to be honest. I don't want too many, especially if I'm going to keep a massive amount in the silo, and it will be easy to use it from the silo as well. So we need to head over to the lime. Just knock that sign down, no one saw that. So I need to head over to the lime pit now, which we do own, and then we can obviously start loading into this trailer. There we go. Open up the gate, and then what I'll do is I'll probably just try to swing it around a little bit, just to make things a little bit easier. And I've got quite a big trailer for this. And there's a hell of a lot of lime here. You could be busy for days getting all this if you really wanted to. I mean, I don't know if you would, but at least you have the option. Right, so let's start scooping some up. I mean, luckily this should be yeah, a good bucket size. So it's 5,000 litres, which isn't too bad. It really isn't. Just about makes it, just about. It's like I need the light on. So like I said, this mainly is here for you to obviously pick up some lime, bag it off, sell it if you want. You can even sell it as a loose. Obviously this is like work, so if you own the pit, you may as well take the lime and then go and make some money for yourself. As you can tell, it might be a good idea to bring over a conveyor belt, for example, because yeah, there's some serious amount of lime here. You could make a fortune just by conveyor belting this in, going to sell it straight away as loose. You really would make a fortune, but I think you might make a bit more if you bag it off from obviously your bagging machine. You could even set up a bagging machine somewhere here, and if you clean up some lime, get some space. But you, as you can see, this is a hell of a lot. It really is. I'm picking up 5,000 litres at a time, and it's really not making any dent into any of this. So it is a nice little feature again, just some added production features into the map. And it's always nice to get your own lime if you want it instead of buying it. So technically this is now free lime because we own the land, and then we can obviously store it onto the farm. So it's not just as simple as going to buy it. We can obviously generate our own, and then yeah, keep it somewhere on the farm. And I'm going to show you both ways you can do that. Alright, so there we go. I've filled up the trailer completely, 42,000 litres in this. It's definitely got a lot of lime in. I'm just going to struggle getting up here, as you can tell. And this is the bigger tractor I've got, so I'm glad I brought this one to the party. But we'll get there. Come on. There we go. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take it to the bagging machine. I'm going to probably drop maybe around 8,000 litres, between 8 and 10. And what I'll try and do is bag off 4 or 5 bags that we can store away. And then what I'll do is we'll transfer it into the silo hopper just across the road from the farmhouse. and then we'll definitely have enough lime going forward for when we do start doing some field work, which is pretty much going to be something that we do start doing very soon. Because right now we haven't got any fields that are obviously planted or anywhere near getting to make us some money. We've pretty much done all that. But we have got the selfie. We will be doing some silage in at some point. Right, so let's try and aim this pretty well, so it's easier for the telehandler to obviously bag it off. And also we need to remember that we're going to be taking out this silo hopper, because we will be needing that. Right, so I think that should be probably plenty for what we want to do. So let's just go and park this back up over to the, well, we could just park it in front in the farmhouse, because we will be moving all the other equipment, and it isn't in the way as much. There we go. Is she still there waving? No, she's gone in. There is a lady that often waves at you from that balcony. I don't know what kind of relation she is to you in the game, but she's definitely in your farmhouse, so who knows. Right, so before I start bagging off, what I'm going to do quickly is just set up what we need, move everything around to the places that obviously everything needs to be, just to make things a little bit easier for us, a bit smoother in the video. So what I'll do is I'll cut back in when I've moved this hopper over the pipe, and yeah, everything's pretty much set up to go. So I'm all set up, so let's get cracking with this. So hopefully this is just going to be as simple as picking it up, dropping it into the bagger, connecting to it, and then telling it to obviously start unloading. I'm sure, if I remember rightly, they are 2,000 litre bags, so if we can make 4, I think that'll be enough for what we need. So we just need to, well, obviously try and not do that. There we go, that's better. You can fill it up as best you can, and there will be a limit when it stops, and then you can obviously turn the bagging unit on, but we'll just try and max it out right now. That's going to be at least 2 bags anyway, so if we can just do that again. So it's probably going to max out as you've seen, but what I'll do is, because we're out the way still from the bagging unit, we can just leave that line there, and then what we need to do is connect to it like I just did, so jump into it. Then you can open up the F1 menu, and if I quickly just enable palette creation, so there we go. So now I've enabled palette creation, I've jumped out of it, and then I did have to jump back in, and then it just started. So you can see that it's making a 2,000 litre bag, so it's 69%. No, well, it's flying up, so it's nearly done. And when it gets to 2,000 litres, that'll be full. And then what we need to do is come and pick it up, and then another one will automatically just keep unloading. So it's pretty straightforward how it works. Bagging units are dead easy, really are easy to use. So if I jump it back into this, I'll start doing the next one. And while it's doing that, we'll go and store this one away. By doing that, again, I've shown you this before, but whoa, complete and utter drift. Doesn't like the 2,000 litre bulk bags at speed. Now, I can probably stand on there and you can see the green lights on. So if I activate this up, you'll be able to tell that this will disappear. If you've got it turned off, it'll just sit up there, and then obviously when you bring this back down, it'll still be on the actual cage that's obviously lifting these bags up. So that's now in storage. So we need to send it back down for the next one, and we'll go and pick up the one that's just been done. And then that's pretty much how you bag. Now you can do that with a lot of things. You can do it with your own chicken food if you've got the grain type, which you do need to do. And you can also do it with sawdust and wood chips as well. So it is an option to do that. You can even then make sacks of wood chips if you wanted to. Again, all stuff that's pretty common sense really. If you want to do that, bags of whole grain, all that kind of stuff. And it seems like you can pretty much bag off anything. Pig food, just put it into that bagging unit. There's also another one on the other side of the farm. Pretty much that's where, right next to the compost, you'll see it. There's another one just there, so you can do this on the other side of the farm as well. Right, so there we go. So that's how you'd make big bags of lime, or big bags of anything really. And then what you need to do is, as it's going up, you can race up the stairs, and if you're quick enough and not get caught, you'll be able to see it just vanish into there. And now you can obviously go over here and tell it what you want. So you can do it with compost. You can store all the seed types, corn, oats, whole grain. We've got one big bag of that. There's so many things you can obviously store. You can even bag off dried grain. But we did some lime, which is there. You've got 4 big bags. Can hold 10, so pretty good going. So what we'll do now is we'll move over to obviously doing what I did with the whole grain. But we're obviously going to turn that now into a lime silo. And then obviously we can only store lime in there, nothing else after that. So pretty much the same as the whole grain. It's not multi-grain, you can't put loads of stuff in it, you can just put the one in, which I prefer, to be honest. I think it's more realistic. And I do like to try and play semi-realistic. I know you can't play properly realistic, but I do try semi-realistic, so I would prefer silos like this. So we obviously need to turn this on and then turn the screw feed on. And then what we want to do is tip here, if it will let me. There we go. So you obviously don't want to tip loads, just do that, that's enough. It's going into the silo hopper. I need to make sure that at the same time I undo the flow on it, the flow valve, and then we need to make sure that we've got the F1 menu and we need to change it to emptying instead of filling. Turn it on and then activate the pump, and as you can see now on the top of there it's changed to lime, and yeah, it's going into the silo. So it's a bit of a process again, like I'm transferring from a trailer ground to a hopper, to an auger hopper, sorry, and then screw feeding into this hopper. It's then being controlled by this in the PTO, which it hasn't got one but a pump, and it's going straight into the silo. So quite a long process, but it's I like it, it's pretty cool. So let's just try and tip some more out. Try and get as much out as we can without obviously going a bit too crazy. I mean, it can only take so much. You can see we filled this up, so this, the bottleneck is this. The bottleneck's the pumping into the silo, because this auger can actually pump into the hopper a lot quicker than what the hopper can pump into the silo. So keep that in mind, that you can have a bottleneck on this side. Right, so I've been waiting here quite a while now. This is up to 20,000, but it is taking a little bit of time. But the whole trailer is now empty. Just picking up this last remaining bit. I think it might need pushing up a little bit over here. If it does, that's not a problem. We can pick it up and then just scoot back over after. So we'll just wait until it's all done, and then yeah, I'll cut back in so you don't have to watch the whole thing, because it's probably something that you should leave to do as you're busy doing something else. Probably be a good idea. Alright, so we're nearly there. 1,300 left in the hopper. over 30, well, close to 33,000 now in the actual silage. And you can see this little window as well. I think that's really cool, but I can't just get angled up just right with it. You can see the last remaining bit is about to be pushed through, and you can hear the pump going, oh, you're struggling me. So there we go. So that's that done. So all we need to do now is obviously disconnect that and shut it off, and then that's that. So now we've got over, well, let's say 34,000 litres of lime sitting in this, and it's going to be really easy when we do some lime spreading. We can just back up to it. So I do recommend having these set up. There is two. I've got one for whole grain and I've got one for lime. You could use the other one for solid fert if you want to make your own fertiliser. That is always an option. It's a shame you can't place these in. You can place something similar, but I think you might. Yeah, it's not pumping in. You tip into it, and I do like these ones. I really do. But yeah, they're still useful. They're still good to use. Right, so on that note, I am going to leave the video there. I think we've definitely done quite a bit. We've picked up all the straw bales. We've stored off the actual straw bales up in this area over here. We've been using the pickup wagon with some silage additive, which is pretty unique, and then using putting the loose straw into the storage area over there, which again is pretty cool. And then also we've been just sorting out the lime, so picking up some lime from the pit and then making big bags and also storing it. And not only that, we've had a look at a really good AutoDrive setup for the whole map. It's pretty much all fields, all locations, yeah, pretty much every destination you could want. So if you are interested in getting your hands on this brilliant AutoDrive setup by Thomas, jump into the Discord, link will be in the video description. Come in, say hello to everyone, and also give Thomas a big thank you for obviously setting it up and sharing it as well. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See ya.